Hello, Facebook world. Oops. Hello, world. This is Kimberly and Connor Tracy here at Big Red SEO. We hope you're having a fantastic holiday weekend. We wanted to come and do our Facebook Friday. We are doing it on Connor's personal profile. So those that join us, hello. We hope to see you here live and engaging with us. But we wanted to pop in here for a couple different reasons. One, it's a holiday weekend. So what does that mean for us? Well, we've kind of rolled up our sleeves and dived into work a little bit here. One, because the phones don't ring, right? Emails are very shy and limited because people are spending time with family, which means we get to do our job and get more done, right?
Yep, definitely.
Some people used to always tell us, hey, like, why do you work on the holidays? And, you know, we're just kind of those people. Like, we kind of play hooky sometimes in the middle of the week.
I mean, the nice thing today was that, you know, we showed up at the office and there's nobody else in the building, and that was kind of nice. So there's no reception out there. The lights are all still turned off. They only turn on if you walk out in the hallway. So that was kind of nice, not having anybody else here. So it means, of course, then that we can be as loud as we want also.
Yeah, well, I'm already a loud person anyway, so adjusting into the new office of just kind of reducing my volume in the first place has kind of been a little bit hard. But you know what? There's new challenges in life every single day. So it's like one of my newest opportunities. And honestly, if I get too loud, I'll probably just get a sound machine or something to that extent. So
Padded walls.
Yeah, no. Like, there's actually 3 elevators in our building, so this is kind of a funny little story with padded walls. One, they wind up making a service elevator because we are going to be having construction in this building until like 2022, maybe. I'm not too sure. And so one of the areas is where the workers all go, and it actually is padded all the way around, because if you've ever seen a construction crew or people bringing in equipment, like, they can bang up those walls pretty bad. So ironically, every time we hit the elevator wall, it's always the service elevator that opens, right? It's not because it's elevator 1, but Connor always says it's because it has padded walls for me, so that's kind of funny. Only if they were Velcro, though. If they were Velcro, guys, I would totally buy one of those Velcro suits, and I would, like, jump up on the walls and
There's
stick.
little pieces of Velcro at the top of it. Does that help?
I don't know if I could jump that high. This little lady is like 5'4". Like, that would be a high jump. So, hey, we hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. A couple things we wanted to touch base with on this week was kind of what we classify as a character building week. We had a couple different situations happen in business. It was nothing with a prospect or a client specifically regarding the services that we provide. However, it was a situation to do with a partnership, right? So, like, we recommend services for multiple different companies. And long story short, like, there was just a situation where they didn't meet their end of the bargain, if that makes sense. They didn't meet their end of the service that they provided to the level that they had. So, you know, from a business area, there's multiple different situations, and this is life too, right? There's different situations where you can go into different scenarios of, hey, A, B, and C happened. What do we do from here, right? How do we take care of our clients? How do we take care of our friends? How do we take care of our families, so to speak? For us, the situation was very interesting because it hit right at the holiday season, right? So what happened was we had to make an executive decision, not just for our own business, but for those clients that we have onboarded with a specific client service material, whatever.
You can say it.
Yeah, and we had to actually activate and create a plan to kind of clean the mess up, if that makes sense. A couple things that I learned from the situation, which we're not going to go into too much detail of who it is right now because we're still in the middle of it, but one of the things that I can say that I learned from this experience is, at the end of the day, we all have the power to cut through the drama and the chaos and the trauma, and instead put our hat of extreme ownership on and say, okay, cool, this thing's happening. That isn't so cool, right? But how can we help our clients A, B, and C? How can we take it to the next level, right? How can we make sure that things are taken care of in whatever way that they're taken care of, right? That's one thing that I learned and actually got to apply in this area. And kudos to us, because we actually have great support systems that were able to help us be able to acknowledge, how can we do this a little bit faster? How can we clean it and get a little less sticky, right?
In some of the cases, you know, so the way that we operate, there's usually a checks and balances system in place.
Yeah.
And we were able to detect some of the issues happening before they got out of control.
Yeah.
And then as they started to get out of control, we were able to have a different solution in place and ready to go. So
Right. Yeah.
it's all timing. The big thing at the end of the day is that if you do have something going wrong, whether it's business or in personal or whatnot, the worst thing that you could possibly do is shut down all communication lines, and that's essentially what happened.
Yeah, and I think for the business owners specifically that we're chatting with, right? Again, this can be applied to anybody, any relationship, circumstance, situation. You're going to have life throw curveballs your way, and it's not about hiding and shying away, but instead it's about tucking and rolling and just kind of getting through whatever you need to get through with the least amount of chaos and drama and trauma, right? Like I see it all the time where people that own businesses, sometimes they'll blend the drama on their personal page versus the professional page. And gosh, guys, like you can literally strip your reputation that you worked on so hard, right? And less hard, you just can take the reputation that you built and you worked so diligently at, right? And then within like one Facebook posting, whatever it says, you can destroy that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't represent yourself for who you are. I'm a true believer in standing behind your truth. However, what I can say is there's going to be certain things that are meant to be on a personal page and certain things within a business as you grow as a business owner and a business professional. You're not going to go and spray and pray and all that stuff on the actual Facebook pages, right? There's a time and a place for all that stuff. But what I can say is at any point in time, you can make the choice to continue on the drama and the trauma or stand up, rise to the occasion and get through it, right? It is very common for me to call a client, maybe if I lacked communication, and apologize to them, right? It's very common that if I'm lacking on being productive, that I rectify the situation, acknowledge why I'm maybe procrastinating, and then get to busy, get to work, get things done, right? Communication is a very, very important key area within business. And for the individuals, if you get into a situation where you're not really sure where to turn or how to go about it, try to reach out to mentors or different people that are within your corner, if that makes sense, and get some guidance instead of going MIA. So MIA stands for missing in action. If just those that don't know that, right? We have seen multiple people that decided to freelance or do different side gigs that they would be going, and then all of a sudden they disappear overnight or they just stop communicating. We've had multiple clients come to us that maybe they had a web designer developing something for them and they went MIA. There's actually a lawsuit here in Omaha right now from a web designer that did that. He took a lot of different money from someone or multiple people, businesses took money from them and then never delivered anything, and then he disappeared.
And it's not just in our industry. So there's the travel agency industry. There was a gal in town who was selling wedding packages, and people were getting ready to go to their wedding.
Vacations,
and it turns out that the agency was selling bogus information. And restaurants do the same thing. We see restaurants close their doors overnight and a sign posted outside.
Or not. So we're not trying to share this message, guys, to instill fear. That's not our intent, right? It's not to talk negative or badly about somebody in a choice that they made. It's just if you have an opportunity to excel in a situation of chaos and drama or trauma within business, sometimes the best situation is to just step forward and take care of what you need to take care of versus just going MIA, right?
Yep. Own up and say my bad.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yep.
How are you? So that was kind of like intertwined in our week this week. In addition to that, we have so many good projects that we're working on right now that I'm super, super excited that these companies have chosen us for website design, SEO, as well as pay-per-click. It's really cool watching people wanting to invest by the end of the year versus waiting for the 2019 to hit, right? So that's super cool to see people that are wicked passionate and like, yeah, let's do it, let's invest, let's go forward. So that's a good new energy. How's everything in your world?
Good. A couple of big updates. Google AdWords, they released a new tool to make monitoring and making adjustments to Google Ads a little easier. So that tool you would download to your computer, you make your modifications,
Sure.
and then click a button to sync everything back up. So I've been playing with that, and that's been good. I haven't noticed any bugs with that.
Yeah.
WordPress, the world of WordPress is kind of up in the air right now. Every developer, every plugin maker, every designer is asking, pleading with WordPress to please delay the launch of the new version.
Yeah.
And the main guy there, Matt, is just, no, we're going with this date. I want it done. I want it done by the end of the year. We know that there's going to be issues. There will be issues. It's a major release.
Right.
And every designer and developer is saying, please don't do it over the holidays.
Yeah.
And this guy just has a deadline in his head, and you know, and I understand to an extent of saying, you know, there's no great time to release it. You know, so at the beginning of the year, we'll all say, no, the year just started, and then as you get into March, no, Christmas or summer's about to start.
Right.
So there's no awesome time to release it, but everybody is still pleading, you know, let's not do it right now. So they have pushed it by 1 week, and instead of releasing it yesterday, it's going to be released on the 27th.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
It's kind of interesting for me with that whole conversation because I'm married to a technical, right? So I know enough to be dangerous in the technical world and I handle different stuff. But when it comes to coding and programming different tools, that's definitely his world, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm married to one and I see one. So like I'll see him create something and then by the time it goes live and it's done, it's already expired, guys. It's like the world of technology moves so fast and a lot of people don't realize and don't acknowledge it, right? Like they just don't get it.
And even releasing a tool, you know, I've got scripts and programs that I've written and I'm about ready to release them.
Yeah.
And I still need extra testing done.
Yeah.
And the battery up there is
It's cool. Yeah.
But we need stuff done in there and it turns out somebody else beat me to it, or they release before I get my stuff out.
Again, it's like the technical side. I can totally see the technical side. I also can see the end user side, right? Because the end user's like, oh, like even in video games, oh, give us that next release, give us that next thing that we want. And then it just like they burn through it really, really quickly, right?
You know what? Battlefield 5 is a perfect game. So it's a game that I've been waiting on to come out for so long, and it finally came out and mixed reviews.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good time burner, time waster, whatnot, but there's certainly things in there that,
you know, yeah, and I feel like for the WordPress update, for us, just to clarify real quick, we're not scared about the Gutenberg coming out for WordPress, right? Mm-hmm. We have created a game plan and a strategy to be prepared for that. I think sometimes what happens is in technical worlds, they get so involved in the code that they don't look at the pre-planning of what's coming down the pipeline, right? So in business even, you have to find a way to be very proactive in the business and what's coming down the pipeline versus being reactive. If you get into reactive in a mindset, you might feel fatigue or burnout or just overwhelmed, right? And this isn't just in marketing in software, right? This is everything from sales to marketing to engagement to how you run your business, how you help employees or contractors or whatever it is, right? I think you always have to be proactive in what is the next step, where are we going, how do we go about different stuff, if that makes sense. So other than that, like we had a movie night last night. That was a lot of fun. We feel that there was a movie before the movie that we watched last night, just FYI. We still enjoyed the movie, let me tell you.
You know, let's go ahead and just talk about that just real quick. Was it Fantastic Beasts, something or other?
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts, something about
Griswold, something.
Out of the list, it was the best one to choose, guys, because we already watched Instant Family last weekend, which was hilarious,
which was great.
By the way.
But
it almost made me want to adopt kids.
Almost.
3 of them.
I watched this movie. I spent 3 hours in the theaters watching this movie. Yeah. And honestly, at the end, I still don't know what the hell it is I watched.
It was something to do with Harry Potter. We know that. There was wizards at the beginning and wizards at the end. So worst case, anytime you were paying attention, and they had wizard sticks. So you knew it was wizards.
Now, the movie was good. From what I can tell, the movie was good. The effects were great and all that kind of stuff. But I honestly, I really feel like there was a movie before it that I didn't watch.
Yeah, like we didn't know the characters specifically, but it was still a really good movie.
You know, we've talked about that. I felt the same with X-Men and DC and Universe.
He gets that way with action
They're
figures.
all the same. And
figures.
I don't know what the backstory is, but whatever.
But it was a good movie. I mean, I think that they did a really, really great job. And it was a lot of entertainment. And I got my movie snacks, which I was super excited about, right?
Yep.
My whole lap was filled with mozzarella sticks and pretzels and cheese and popcorn and then a drink.
Drinks.
And I had like, we were in the recliner chairs and it was like snack, snack, snack. I was a happy little kid.
It's rare, you know, when we go to the theater, it's rare that we'd actually do any food stuff. But speaking of which, I did not get dinner last night. How about you?
He didn't. I did not feed him last night, guys. Did not. Actually, I didn't feel like cooking, and I wasn't really hungry, so I was good. So I kind of like left him to his own.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get off of here and roll up our sleeves and do a couple more projects for a couple more hours. That makes sense. We might work a little bit this weekend just because it's super quiet.
David, I read the same thing. Talking about some censorship inside of Battlefield. There's a lot of drama that went on with that. Their stock shares, everything else are taking a hit as a result. So
yeah, you'll have to catch me up on that.
I need to jump in and play more time in there to play it, but there's a lot of drama with DICE, and
I think sometimes in the video game world there is a lot of drama no matter what. Right?
Yeah, probably.
So I used to be a video gamer, guys, so just FYI, that's a little scoop that you know for a little secret. And I got into it so much I kind of cut it off and just stopped playing. I like when it comes to video games, I don't really know a lot of control, especially when it comes to Mario Kart, guys. Especially when it comes to Mario Kart. Anyway, all right, well, however you choose to spend the weekend, we hope you guys rock it really, really well. And we hope you guys have the great rest of November. We will plan to see you next week as far as another weekly recap.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.